Hey folks, Chad Olds here. I have had lots of requests to continue the video series of how to sell from your home office. Lots of people that are used to traveling for field sales or traveling for real estate or traveling for any other job. And now they got to find out, how do I run a video call? So I wanted to tackle that today. We're going to talk about background. We're going to talk about cameras, microphones, who to invite, and let's get started. So background, number one. Make sure that you have something that you try and be professional with. It can be a room if you have an empty room. It can be just a flat wall. Or you can do like one of my mentors does, Chad Hawken, hang a sheet behind yourself. There's some advantages to that too, because if it's all one color, then most of the video conferencing tools will let you do any background you want. And this is something that Mario from Vengresso does extremely well. You never know if he's actually on a boat or actually on the beach whenever you're having a call with him, because it always looks super cool behind him. All right, so that's the first thing. Number two, get there early and turn your video on immediately. If you wait to get there and people are already joined and talking without their videos on, it becomes a little more difficult for you to get people to turn them on. If you get there early, so that means you can't have back-to-back meetings. You got to have a little bit of a buffer in between. But if you get there early, you turn your video on, then every single person that joins, you'll see their video start to turn on. And that is fantastic. Next, camera. Cameras need to be eye level as much as possible. It's a lot more engaging when it looks like I'm looking eye level like I would be if I was speaking with you. If the camera's way down, we've all seen it with somebody's laptop, and it's like this the whole time, it's hard to kind of feel like they're engaging. You can always raise your laptop. If you're using a laptop camera, just raise your laptop. We've all got plenty of Amazon boxes these days, I'm sure, that you can put a laptop on top of. Maybe you need to do an external keyboard if you want to take your notes. Next thing, make sure that you have the actual video as close to your camera as possible. So in my case, I've got a camera on top of my external screen. I move my video window as high as possible so that if I'm looking at other people, it looks like I'm looking them in the eye because you're looking at the camera. That also goes for your note taking as well. You can be looking at notes and it'll look like you're looking directly in people's eyes. Like right now, I am looking at notes and it looks like I'm looking in the camera. Also, make sure that you don't have somebody's video on a different screen than the camera. So a lot of people will have the camera down on their laptop and then they'll be looking over here and talking to you. And that's not very engaging. And you need to make sure that you got your camera high up and that you have the video on there. It looks like you're looking directly at somebody and paying attention. Microphones. It is not critical that you have an external microphone. The ones on laptops are very good today. But if you do want to go that route, it is better. It's almost always better to have an external. On Amazon for $30, you can get pretty nice microphones, USB microphones that'll just sit on your desk or clip to your lapel. If you want to go one step up, Yeti has a snowball microphone that's like $60, or you can go with this, which is probably about $100. And it's kind of, this one's kind of the standard unless you want to go and start spending crazy money. And I think that's just kind of pointless. Finally, only invite necessary participants. Don't go and invite everybody on your team. The customer, sometimes you can't choose. They've got a certain number of folks that they want added, and you just have to deal with it. If you invite the wrong people on your team, unnecessary folks, and they're not needed, a few things could happen. One, they could have very good self-control and just look at the screen and make it seem like they're paying attention, and then you're very lucky if they do that. Or they could disconnect, and that comes in two ways. One is they will shut their camera off or shut it off and on, which is even worse. And then you'll see other people in the group start to do it, and that's not very good. The worst thing that can happen is they're doing email, so they're doing things like this the whole time, and they're darting across the screen, and they're turning their camera on and off, and that becomes extremely distracting. So it's one of the huge benefits of doing video calls that you only get added to meetings where you're necessary, but you also have to have that same self-control. Don't invite people that shouldn't be there. With that, I'm going to end it. I might do the next one on social selling. So how do you use social media to get people to engage more, especially before your meetings? If you have any other things that you'd like to see, please comment. I'm loving hearing all of these, and I'll continue to go through these as we go, especially over the next 3 to 8 weeks, however long this takes. And your shares, your comments, your likes, they are helping us reach a much broader audience and hopefully helping some of the sales reps get through this difficult time of selling when you can't meet your customers. So with that, I will end it. Good selling, and let's go crush it.